It's the southeastern edge of the continental United States, a peninsula between two seas, shaped by storms, soaked in sunlight, and built on sand. This is Florida. To outsiders, it's beaches, palm trees, and amusement parks. To those who live here, it's a place of extremes, of beauty and contradiction, of nature at its most fragile, and people at their most determined. Florida is the flattest state in the nation. Its highest natural point rises just 345 feet above sea level. And yet, this state draws more people than almost any other. It's now the third most populous in America. Each year, more than 130 million visitors arrive. Drawn by sunshine, theme parks, and coastlines that stretch over 1,300 miles, it's easy to see why. From the air, Florida's beaches look like a promise. White sand curves into turquoise water, a postcard at every turn. But the land beneath that beauty is fragile. Rising seas threaten neighborhoods already built too close to the edge. Storms reshape the shoreline, and the line between land and water feels thinner every year. Still, people keep coming. Florida grows by over 1,000 residents a day. And it's not just retirees anymore. It's families, professionals, immigrants, and dreamers, all chasing their version of the Florida promise. But long before that promise was sold in real estate brochures, Florida belonged to others. Indigenous people lived here for more than 12,000 years. The Calusa ruled the southwest coast, the Timucua lived in the northeast, and the Seminole fought fiercely for the land they called home. In 1513, Juan Ponce de Leon landed here. He named it La Florida, the flowery land. He was searching for gold in the fabled Fountain of Youth. He found resistance. Spain claimed the territory but held it loosely. By the 18th century, the British had taken it. Finally, in 1821, the United States purchased Florida for $5 million. It became the 27th state in 1845, but it was never tamed easily. In the early 1800s, American forces clashed with the Seminole in 3 wars. The Seminole refused to leave. They vanished into the swamps of the Everglades, one of the only tribes never formally defeated. That vast wetland still spreads across South Florida. It once covered over 4,000 square miles. A slow-moving sheet of water, rich in life. Today, it's half the size it used to be. Drained for farming, carved up by canals and levees. But what remains is unlike anywhere else on Earth. The Everglades is the only place where alligators and crocodiles coexist. Where birds rise from sawgrass like wind-blown smoke. And the horizon feels endless. It's a land of paradox, a wilderness created by water that now fights for every drop. Still, Florida remains an ecological wonder. Its springs pump out millions of gallons of crystal clear water each day. Its coral reefs are the only ones in the continental United States. And in the Keys, hundreds of islands form a necklace that arcs into the sea. In Key West, the southernmost point of the continental U.S., the sun sets each night like it's performing for an audience. And every evening the crowd applauds. But this is a state where nature shares the stage with the man-made. Nowhere more than in Central Florida. Here, in what was once orange grove and swamp, a single mouse transformed the landscape. When Walt Disney opened his Florida project in 1971, he launched an industry. Today, Disney World is the largest single-site employer in the country. And the Orlando region hosts more theme parks than anywhere else on Earth. But Florida's story is more than fantasy. It's also flight. On the Space Coast, rockets still rise into the sky. From Cape Canaveral, astronauts launch toward the moon. From Kennedy Space Center, the Space Shuttle made history. And now, private spaceflight is rewriting the rules. Each launch reminds Floridians that the state still looks up. Further north, St. Augustine claims its place as the oldest city in the U.S. Founded by the Spanish in 1565, it predates Jamestown by over 40 years. Cobblestone streets, stone forts, and layers of history older than most of the country itself. On the Gulf Coast, cities like Tampa and Sarasota mix old Florida with new. Fishing boats pass waterfront condos. Historic neighborhoods share space with high-rise growth. And along the shore, some of the finest sand in the world glows white in the sun. Panhandle towns like Pensacola, Destin, and Panama City hug the Emerald Coast. Named for the color of its waters, it's a region shaped by hurricanes and hospitality. Life here feels slower, simpler, but never far from change. And across the state, Florida's people reflect its past and its future. Cuban Americans have shaped Miami's identity for decades. Little Havana hums with energy. Its streets echoing with music, language, and resistance. In Tampa, Ybor City tells the story of cigar rollers and immigrant labor. In the Glades, migrant workers harvest sugarcane in the shadow of poverty. And in South Florida's coastal cities, dozens of nationalities blend together. Making the region one of the most diverse in the country. But with that growth comes risk. Florida faces more climate threats than almost any other state. Hurricanes grow stronger. Sea levels rise. And the cost of rebuilding gets higher each year. Entire neighborhoods are now buying time. Raising roads, building seawalls, and hoping the next storm passes them by. Still, Floridians stay. Because this land, unstable as it may be, offers something no other place does. A connection to water. A closeness to sky. A life that feels like it's always on the edge, but still worth living. This is Florida, a place of bright light and deep shadow, of beaches and back roads, of magic, of memory, and of movement.
Tell us what state we should cover next and what we absolutely shouldn't miss. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next video.